Hello, my name is Mariah Sparks, and I'd like to tell you two stories today of Greek goddesses. The first, Persephone, the goddess of the springtime. Now, she was an innocent young maiden who loved to pick flowers and frolic in meadows with her friends, and that's what she was doing this lovely spring day. And she had lagged behind picking flowers for her mother, Demeter, the goddess of the earth and all green growing things. And she was picking violets, little gems of violets, and crocuses and narcissus and all manner of beautiful spring flowers, when all of a sudden there was this huge rumbling in the earth, and the earth split open, and out of this crevice in the earth sprang these 4 black horses pulling this black and golden chariot with this very stern-faced man riding it. And he swoops up Persephone as she screams and drops her flowers. And he rides back into that crevice in the earth as it closes up behind them. And he says, "My name is Hades, and I am the king of the underworld, and now you will be my queen. And all of this is yours," as they were passing bugs and creepy things and slithering snakes and rivers of lava. And she would have none of it. She was the goddess of lightness and flowers and joy and springtime. She was not, in her heart of hearts, the goddess of the underworld. So she fell into a deep, deep depression. Meanwhile, on the surface of the planet, all of Persephone's friends ran to Demeter. Demeter, we lost Persephone. We don't know what happened to her. One moment she was with us running and playing in the field. The next moment we see her basket with flowers that she'd picked for you strewn all over the floor. And so Demeter, distraught, stopped paying attention to the surface of the planet. She was just interested in finding her daughter and bringing her home. Well, Zeus saw that everything was dying, and called Demeter to him to find out what was wrong. And once he found out what was happening, he called Hermes to him and said, "Hermes, you need to go look for Persephone, because Demeter's just going to kill everything until she gets her daughter back." And so Hermes went searching for Persephone. Finally, after months, he found her in the underworld, and he went to the gates of the underworld, and he said, "Hades, I know that you don't normally release anything that you've taken to the underworld, but Zeus is demanding that you release Persephone. So you must. The King of Heaven has spoken, and you must." And Hades, recognized his brother's power over him and released Persephone. But sneaky King of the underworld turned to Persephone and offered her a bowl of pomegranate jewels and said, "Persephone, you haven't eaten this whole year, and as a token of my love, just please accept a handful of pomegranate seeds to nourish you as you go back to the surface of the planet." And she, just not thinking, took 3 of them and popped them into her mouth, because she really was starving. She hadn't eaten in a whole year. And then went and was embraced into her mother's arms, as she reached the surface of the planet. And Demeter was so happy that all manner of green growing things started springing up, and new buds on leaves, and the spring had sprung as Demeter and Persephone were reunited. And Demeter said, daughter, I'm so happy to see you. Just tell me that you didn't eat any food of the dead." And Persephone said, "No, mother, I know the rules. I did not eat, except for the 3 pomegranate seeds that I ate just before leaving." And Zeus, overhearing this conversation, said, "It's okay, I will negotiate." So he allowed Hades to keep Persephone for half of the year, and he gave Persephone to Demeter for half of the year. And that is why we have spring and summer and fall and winter. Now, the next story I'd like to tell you is about the goddess of love and beauty, Aphrodite. Now, she had a great love named Adonis, and he was a prolific hunter. He was a young man, but he was getting better and better every day and getting a little more daring every day. And after a wonderful lovemaking session and a beautiful little feast of a picnic that she had laid out for them, she said, "Adonis, my love, now you're such a skilled hunter. You're almost as good as the goddess Athena herself. And, but you're so precious to me. You're so precious to me that please think of me and don't go chasing after that terrible, bloodthirsty boar that you've been so desperately trying to kill. After you speared it on that last hunting expedition, it knows you and it's going to come for you and it's going to kill you if it gets a chance. So please think of me and stay safe." And he made no promises but kissed her and made sweet love to her, and they had a wonderful meal together. And then she rode off on her swan-driven chariot back to Mount Olympus, and Adonis went back, gathered his dogs back together, and went back on his hunt to chase after this wild boar, because that was the trophy that would make him a hunter above and beyond that of Athena even. So he found the boar, and the boar could smell him and charged for him, and his dogs spread out or got out of the way because terrible, boar with these horrible tusks, right, came after them and went straight to Adonis and got him right in the groin and stabbed him terribly, giving him a mortal wound. And he fell to the ground, screamed, and Aphrodite, halfway to Olympus, heard her love scream and turned her chariot around and came back and found Adonis lying, breathing his last breath. And she held him in her arms, watching his blood spill all over the forest floor. And she cried out that her love was dying and that she has never felt so much grief, and that every year on the anniversary of his death, this beautiful anemone would flower out of his blood. And she never, in all of her loves, never loved anyone as much as she loved Adonis. And it is said that Ares, the god of war, was the boar that came to kill Adonis out of jealousy. And it's also said that Athena helped the boar kill Adonis for her anger that Adonis would compare himself, that Aphrodite would compare Adonis's skill as a hunter to Athena's. So that is the story of Aphrodite and Adonis.